Jim, the guy that everyone wanted to start in the rotation this year, Luis Ortiz, gets sent down to AAA to start the season. Unfortunately, fortunately for him, Vince Velasquez gets injured. Seems like to be short term, though. That's a good thing. Like the good news about that is, we're just kind of skeptic. Is it going to be a long term deal with Vince Velasquez? Jerrington comes out and says that it's most likely going to be short term. So don't know if it's going to be a few weeks. We'll have more details. It seems like I think he said today, right on Tuesday.
Well, Wednesdays are typically the Todd Tomzik press conferences of terror. So maybe we'll hear something today, but I would imagine we'll at least have an update by tomorrow.
Right. Okay. So so with him on the shelf, Luis Ortiz was on the taxi squad last night. We all, were speculating that he was going to get the start because he started a day earlier, only pitched 40 pitches in that sense. So with him being on the taxi squad in Pittsburgh, I can only assume he's going to start today. So Luis Ortiz getting his call. It's exciting stuff, I think. He's been pitching very well in the minors. We actually talked to him a couple times going back in the prospects talks on this show. So I don't know. What do you want to talk about with Luis Ortiz right now?
I would just say, I'm excited to kind of see progression. We saw him at the end of last year. He had put together not necessarily like an overwhelming performance in Double-A, but he gets the call up because the Pirates basically just needed an arm to end the year. So he started 4 games last season. That's when we all got our first glimpse of him. And, we saw the stuff. We saw the fastball reach 98, 99 miles an hour. We saw with movement. We saw the slider, the nasty slider. So I think, you get excited when you see the stuff. And then now, he started the season in AAA, has put together a really solid first month in a week or so of the season. He's gotten 7 starts down there, 2.23 earned run average, striking out not as many people as you would hope for, but the walks are where you want to see it. He's getting really good results. The stuff apparently isn't as high as it was when he was in the majors last year. So maybe we saw some just like an adrenaline boost at the end of last year. I'm not entirely sure, but he seems to be pitching really well in AAA. The one time that I saw him in person, he looked excellent. I'm looking forward to seeing him. I'm looking forward to seeing that slider and just kind of the way that the Pirates have been using their pitching this year. They've really been leaning on those like plus pitches that they possess.
Yeah. Yep.
And so, I'm kind of excited to see, what's the pitch mix going to be like tonight. Are they going to lean on that slider? I'm looking forward to the start because he kind of gets to ease in against a subpar opponent also.
Right. There's that part. Yeah. The Colorado Rockies lineup isn't that devastating. And like I said last night, and it's also in Pittsburgh this time and not in Colorado. So good for Luis Ortiz in that sense. But you're right. And I just want to remind people, just in case they forgot, because you're talking about how Luis Ortiz was, touching and hitting 98 and 99. He got caught up in September after 124 innings pitched in the minors. So this wasn't just like, hey, I've only pitched like 30 innings this year. My arm's fresh. He averaged 98.4 miles per hour on his fastball. And he's a starting pitcher. This is the dude, this is what's so fascinating about his fastball, is the velocity was there, but he maintained it like almost his entire start. I mean, he was pumping 99, 98 like the entire time. So, like you said, like we saw that fastball and the slider. This is what I think is like, I'm kind of intrigued with him as well, because everyone talked about that third pitch. We need that third pitch. That's why he's in the minors. You got to develop that third pitch, like that changeup that he had and such. And then, like you said, the Pirates kind of veered and said, well, Roansy, we're going to make you more or less a 2-pitch guy. Your slider is really, really good. Just throw that like over 50% of the time, and you're cool there. And Vince Velasquez, we're going to bring you in. You have a really, really good slider. Just throw that a lot too. So it's like they've turned guys into 2-pitch players while telling this guy he can't be here because he's only a 2-pitch player. But mind you, we'll forget about that. But that's why I'm intrigued, because it's like this is like this new Pirates philosophy in a sense. And Luis Ortiz certainly fits that mold because he's got 2+ pitches there in those. So, I really wanted to see like how they're going to utilize him and how effective that slider is tonight. Like last year, he used a slider 37% of the time, fastball was 57%. So it's like, is that going to be about the same, or is there going to be, like you said, like very slider heavy? So yeah, I'm real intrigued by him. I'm excited. Like this guy came out of nowhere last year. When he got that start, everyone's like, who?
Yeah, I feel like the diehard people knew who he was, but he was never really a guy that you were like counting on being a future staple of the rotation.
Right.
And then when you saw him in the majors, you were like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I need to reevaluate. Like I need to reevaluate my opinion on this person. So yeah, no, like I said, it's an exciting start. The Pirates are coming off a 7-game losing streak. They get the shutout yesterday, so you're hoping things are starting to turn back around. And yeah, Luis Ortiz first start of the year. This is must see TV. He's a fun young pitcher to watch. You can use Baseball Savant to fit a lot of your narratives if you want to. So just to kind of fit a quick narrative here, they compare him, right? They compare his velocity and movement. Yes. Like who are the pitchers that he looks like the most? And listen to these names: Sandy Alcantara, who won the Cy Young last year; Hunter Green, who we all know, just nasty; Luis Castillo, who I don't think he won a Cy Young ever, but he's been really, really good for a long time. And then Garrett Cole. So the pitchers who StatCast says this guy resembles make you excited about what Luis Ortiz has to offer.
You know what no one has ever said about those pitchers?
My narrative.
Who?
Yeah, everybody knows those guys.
Yeah, those are like some sexy ass comps. And like you said, you can use the fit narratives and understand what that means. Not here. We're not touting that he's going to be Garrett Cole or any of those guys, but like that's what we're talking about. Like this stuff. This is why you're excited about him, because it's like, wow, that plays. Like this isn't just a hoax and like where this guy came out of nowhere and he was beating up on something like 19 and 20-year-olds. He has some legit things to work with here. And it's, mind you, like what he's coming off of right now. So, on the season, he's pitching pretty good. He's 2.23 ERA in his 32 innings this year in the minors. So, it's kind of carrying over where a lot of players, we'll maybe talk to you a little bit here, where like a lot of the players haven't got off to hot starts for the Pirates, in the minors. Luis Ortiz is not that guy. He certainly has been playing and pitching well. So this is also a case where he's one of the better pitchers, and you could debate whether it's going to be him or Priester. He's showing he belongs here right now, not so much with Priester.
Yeah, and he's been going deeper, in his last couple of games. His last 2 starts before, his 3-inning pseudo bullpen session the other day. 6 innings, gave up 2 runs in both of those. So, he's stretched out. You hope that he can give you 5 or 6. When we saw him in his limited time last year, he seemed to be more of a heavy volume. I'm throwing a lot of pitches. So, come the 5th inning, like he was done. So it'll be also interesting to see, has he changed in that regard, or is he going to be a guy who you hope to get 5 out of him?
That's a good point too. Yeah, very much so. So again, very excited to see his start today. Probably going to be sent down here, I'd imagine, soon enough once Vince Velasquez gets healthy. But make the most out of your time here, and that's what I'm excited to see.
Absolutely.
You all, thank you for watching. I know we try to provide the most entertaining content that we can, and we'd love to spread it to as many people as possible. So I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but if you could take the 5 seconds to like this video and subscribe to the page, it helps out so much more than you know. Thank you, and let's go Bucks.